everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are stepping back in time to enjoy some Christmas decorating from a couple of years ago. I am going to post a few of these this year just to get into the holiday spirit and also bring some early Christmas motivation. I hope you enjoyed this video and stick around because I have lots of holiday content coming this year. Channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Tanya. Today I'm so excited to finally start decorating for Christmas. Like, I know that I already did my daughter's bedroom and my bedroom, but now it's time for the main living areas and I am just so excited. It is the perfect day for it. It's cloudy. It's actually snowing right now. It just started. This is the first snow of the year, so I just couldn't, plan a better time for this. And my kids are currently doing online school, so they're busy, but mom's gonna work down here and get started on some of these Christmas decorations. I do always like to have at least my tree up and some stuff started by December 1st. So today for sure, I don't know if I can get it all done in this video, but today for sure I am going to work on the tree and part of my living room. At least I have a ton of stuff this year. I have been collecting for a couple of years, but my Christmas collection has kind of gotten out of control. So I'm excited to see what I do this year. I am going to change things up from what I did last year, but I honestly have no plan in mind. So we're just going to go with the flow. So I'm going to bring you along with me. I hope you enjoy. Please like this video if you like this kind of content, and let's go ahead and get started. So this year I'm actually going to start working on my fireplace first. Normally I work on my tree first just because I know exactly what I want to do, but this year I'm kind of just going with the flow. I picked up a couple of new picks this year, and I know that overall I want a look of kind of natural and free-flowing and kind of wild and rustic, if that makes sense. So I'm bringing in whites, and then I got these picks from Hobby Lobby that you're going to see in just a second, and I got 4 of them, and they're kind of like a viney, almost, it looks kind of like a pine. I don't really know what the actual plant name is or what it's supposed to be, but I thought it looked kind of Christmassy. And so I'm just cutting off the individual pieces of this pick, and I'm sticking it into my garland. I've had this garland for ever, maybe 12 years or more, and I'm just sticking this extra pick pieces into the garland and kind of weaving it in. And what I want for it to do is kind of cascade over the mantle, and I think that this will give it a really natural and even a more full look, because I just don't want it to look quite as structured as it has in the past. And also I'm doing this thing where I'm laying it over one side of the mantle. Usually I do it straight across and it hangs evenly on either side, but I keep seeing this kind of mantle where it's off center, and I love it. So I wanted to try it with my mantle and see if it works, and I really love the way it turned out this year. So that little vine that I'm showing you is from the Dollar Tree, and it is just I guess it's a garland of little mini pine cones, and they're on a wire, so it's actually kind of hard to weave in, but that's just what I'm doing. I actually have 2 of these, and I'm going to weave these in just to give it a little bit more of a natural look. And also, if you're wondering, I did flock my garland last year and my tree. I have a video on that from last year if you want to see how I did it. But I was a little bit worried about adding this green pick in with the flocking because I thought maybe it would look weird. But I really like the way it turned out. It just like brought a little bit more green in. And I don't think it looks that weird at all. So you'll have to let me know what you think, if you agree with me or if you think it looks ridiculous. So I'm not going to completely finish this garland right now, just because, like I said, I don't know what I'm doing. So I really want to kind of start on the tree so that I can figure out what exactly I want to bring over here. But for now, I do want to go ahead and hang our stockings. So I got these stockings this year from Walmart. They were $10 each, and I think they're so pretty. And then I just made these little wooden name tags. I have a video of some Christmas crafts that I did this year. So I'll link that below if you want to check this out, but that has like how I made the little wood name tags, and I just think that this is like the cutest touch. And again, I'm putting them all on one side because, like I said, I keep seeing this kind of off-center mantle, and I wanted to give it a try. And I have to say that this is probably my favorite year for what I've done overall for decor, so I can't wait to show you it all at the end. Next, I'm just adding a couple of random things. I actually had most of the stuff from last year. The 2 silver trees and the angel is something my mom got me. And I did pick up the little rustic twine tree this year from Hobby Lobby. I just wanted to add a little bit more wood into my decor this year. So now I'm unwrapping my tree. I just wanted to mention, I think I probably mentioned it in a previous video when I did my undecorate with me last year, but this past year, like, I took my Christmas tree downstairs just as it was. Like, normally I box it up and everything, but I like literally took it downstairs in the pieces and set it right back up in the basement. And then I just took some twine and like tied up the branches so it wasn't, you know, taking up so much room. But that worked out really, really well for me. So I don't know how you store your Christmas tree, but I thought that that was a good way to do it for us. As you can see, this tree is kind of falling apart. Like, I have a branch that had come off that I kind of stuck in, and there's actually a second branch that comes off later. This tree is quite old, which it originally came pre-lit, and 2 years ago my lights stopped working, so I like took the time to cut out all the pre-lit lights, which took me ages, and now I just string it myself. I'm just too cheap to like buy another tree. And then last year I ended up flocking it, and I can't help it. Like, every time I put this tree up, I think, man, this tree is so sad and I probably need a new one. But the thing is like, once it's all decorated, I just still love it. So I can't bring myself to go spend the money on a new one when this one still looks so beautiful. So a little update, we had to go out and get more lights because the lights I already had, apparently a few of them are not working this year, which is probably okay because I've had them for like, I don't know, 10 years. So it was bound to happen, but all the extra lights that I had are on this tree because it used to be pre-lit
And last year I had removed all the pre-lit lights because I stopped working, and I have been like, I strung the lights last year and I'm stringing them again this year. So those are my extra lights. So the 3 that were not working, I had to replace. So we had to take a little break, but we're gonna get back to it. I don't think I'm gonna get it all done today, so there's probably gonna be a day 2 of this, but that's not a big deal.
So the good thing about this taking forever to finish is that my kids got done with school. So my daughter actually gets to help me now, which is fun because they do like to help decorate the tree. My son, he's older and he doesn't really want to do all like the lights and the basic ornaments or whatever, but I do like have ornaments that like the kids have made over the years, or I do like buy them an ornament a year if they pick one out and want one. And I keep a bag for each of them, and each of them gets to string their own ornaments. And my son actually still likes to do that. So that's kind of cool. So later, not in this video, but later on, he actually got to put his own ornaments on there. And that's kind of special for them to do every year. So next I'm just taking some ribbon and I'm just kind of weaving it in and out. I really didn't know what I was going to do with this ribbon, but I had picked up this white ribbon a while ago and I knew I wanted to bring in more white to the tree. And then I had this gold ribbon that I had used last year in the tree. And last year I actually used gold and burgundy ribbon. So I knew I wanted to keep the gold because my star is gold. So I'm just tucking in the gold also, and I did just kind of go diagonal down my tree, and normally I would go like random for the ribbon, but I kind of liked the way this looked. It almost looks like a wrapped present, but I'm going like every other for the ribbon, so it's like gold, white, gold, and I'm gonna do that like around the whole tree. Now I skipped the back because there was no point in wasting ribbon for the back when it's up against the wall. But you'll see towards the end how it ends up kind of looking, I think, pretty sweet. Now, my daughter didn't love the way the ribbon looked as I was doing this, which was kind of funny. But at the end, she's like, oh, no, I like it now. So I know it doesn't look excellent right now, but once it's all said and done, I just am really happy with the way it turned out. So next, this is kind of random and weird, and I don't think I've ever seen anybody do this, but I'm sure other people do. I just haven't seen it. But I had this like batting in my craft supplies I've used like for years to make pillows and who knows what other kind of projects I'm using this stuff for, but I just had like a little bit in my stash, and I decided to bring it up and just put it randomly in the tree, and it almost makes it look like there's like little piles of snow in the branches. I really like the way that turned out. So I don't know if other people do that. I have seen people use like fur ribbon before, but I haven't seen that. And then these like huge picks I got this year from Michaels, and these are probably my favorite addition to my Christmas decor this year. They are so big, but I love them. They're flocked and they've got a couple different kinds of like pine on them and then some pine cones, and I have 4 of them. So I'm just sticking them in kind of random places on the sides of the tree. And I know it doesn't look great right now, but I'm going to fix them and kind of fluff them up a little bit and stick them in just a little bit more. But like I said before, I really want the overall look of everything to be just a little bit more wild and natural. So I didn't want a perfectly like structured tree. I wanted things to kind of stick out here and there. So that is what I'm using my picks for this year, if that makes sense. So this was like a really big statement. And I know, like I said, it doesn't like look the greatest yet, but once I work in all the other picks, like I really think that this is probably my favorite part that I did to the tree this year. Here I have some poinsettias that I just picked up from the Dollar Tree. I just got 3 of these picks, and I am clipping off each individual poinsettia, and I'm sticking them just randomly in the tree. And I'm also going to add a few to my garland as well, and that's just going to help tie in my garland to my tree. So the reason I wanted to start my tree first, like before finishing my garland, was I wanted to see kind of what I had room for on the tree and what I had extras of that I could put over on the garland. And I didn't want the garland to look exactly like the tree. So I don't know. I was just kind of going back and forth to see what I liked. And it did take some experimenting for me to get where I wanted to be overall. But like I said, I just really love the way everything turned out. So now that we have all the picks in and it's looking kind of awesome in my opinion, we are going to start adding in just our like basic ornaments. So I have lots of silver and gold, both the larger ornaments and the like average size ornaments. And so with the larger ball ornaments, we're just like sticking them inside the tree where there's any kind of holes that would like show the like that it's an artificial tree, if you know what I mean. So like we're filling in those spaces with the bigger ball ornaments, and then we're just kind of randomly putting the other ones on. And I also am adding in burgundy ornaments, so that is like my pop of color this year. I used burgundy last year as well, and I really like the like deep color, but I'm not using all of the same ornaments as I did last year. So I'm just like picking and choosing, and I am doing less burgundy than I did before because I do want it to read overall like white and winter, and then adding in the touches of burgundy. So as you can see, I'm moving back to the garland because I had extra ornaments, so that's why I was going back and forth. So I added some gold ornaments first, and then I'm just like bending the little ornament hook over pieces of the branches, and that's what's holding them onto the garland. So I'm just going to add some burgundy ornaments as well. And the last thing I did with the garland that I did not show in this video because I had done it as an afterthought because I had forgotten, but I added a string of lights as well, and that really brought both the garland and the tree together. So moving over to the couch, I'm just going to add some throw pillows over to both corners. Some of these I've had for years, and then a couple of them I did get new in the Kohl's Veterans Day sale this year, and I really like the way that that's turned out. So a little update on my couch. If you've been following me for any time, you know that this couch is old. Like, we have lived in this area for, oh my goodness, like over 13 years. And we had this couch before we even moved. So we've been looking for a new one that like meets all of my specific requirements, and we finally found one. So hopefully we're picking it up this weekend. So this might be the last Christmas with that couch, and I can't tell you how happy I am about that. So moving on to this little half wall, it separates my dining room from my living room. I am just adding these little village houses. These are a part of my Christmas Craft With Me video as well. They're just Dollar Tree houses that I painted and added some Epsom salt snow to. And I really like these, but I have to say I wasn't sure how to do an all white village. So you'll see here, I'm just like playing around with it, and I don't end up liking how it turned out. So I'm going to work on it more, and you'll be able to see it later.
we are back with day 2. I just couldn't get it all done yesterday, so I'm just gonna continue on in the living room. I was like working on the like little village yesterday, and something about it is not quite right for me, so I'm gonna work on that a little bit more. And then I have my chair that I want to put a blanket and pillow on, and I want to decorate above my pictures above the couch. And then I have my side table to do in here still. So I'm going to work on those.
So originally I had kind of planned on breaking this video up into 2 videos because I feel like I have a lot to decorate, but I ended up missing my Tuesday video just because I decided I wanted to get everything done and put it in one video. So that is why you are getting a pretty long video today and no video on Tuesday. But as you can see here, I just took off that greenery that I had added to this like village area, and then I have these like 2 crystal little jars. One's like a toothpick holder and one's just a jar, and I put those underneath 2 of the houses just to kind of raise some of it and give it a little bit of like interest, and then just like redid the trees to kind of hide the little jars. And then instead of adding more greenery or something to the village, I am just stacking in a couple of these little finishing nails into my wall, and I'm adding this garland. So this garland is almost as old as my and my husband's relationship, which is like really old. So I got this years ago, almost 2 decades ago, from Dollar General. I can't even believe I still have this stuff, but that is just how long I keep things. So I'm just like winding this in, and then I'm adding some more of that original pick that I had added to my fireplace mantle, and I'm kind of weaving this in the same way because I do want it to kind of hang down naturally, and I want it to look kind of similar to the fireplace but not exact. So I feel like I did that a lot with my decor this year. I did try to coordinate things but not make it matchy. So every little bit looks different but also very similar, if that makes sense. And I'm like really glad that I did that. So as you can see, it is like 2 different colors of green, and it kind of looks weird right now, but it will end up looking, I think, kind of nice in the end. And then again, I didn't show me putting the lights on this because I couldn't find the lights that I had over here for it. And the ones that I had, I thought didn't work, but then I found the ones that were meant for here way after I had filmed this. So you'll see it in the end, like when I show how everything turned out, but I couldn't find it beforehand. So sorry about that. I did weave in some lights. So like I did with the fireplace garland, I'm just adding in a few extra ornaments to the garland to tie it all together. And then I also have these like gold icicles that I used on my tree last year, but I didn't want them on my tree this year. So I'm actually going to hang a few of those off of this garland as well. And it's just like makes the garland do a little bit more of the uneven thing, if that makes sense. So it's just like less structured and just a little bit more free flowing and just interesting, I thought. So one of the places I didn't finish yesterday is the rest of the fireplace, and I did want to add a few things to the hearth. So if you've been following me for any length of time, you know that we have a lot of golf equipment in my house, and so that basket holds a bunch of golf clubs and like a bunch of stuff down in it, and then there's like a little mercury jar that holds golf balls. And so I did want to kind of disguise some of this with some decor. So I'm adding a couple pieces of greenery and just like some flowers and whatever, just to kind of make it like hidden a little bit. It's camouflage. I also picked up this little furry present. Like what? Drawing a blank on what it's called. I keep seeing these all over YouTube, so there's a lot of people who picked these up this year, but I had found it and I thought it was so pretty, so I put that on the hearth. And then also this wreath I've had for a couple of years, and that pillow I thought dressed up the other side. And then moving on to my chair, I'm just adding a furry blanket and this pretty pillow. And then I'm going to work on this little side table. And these little snow globes, you can see like a little hot glue hanging off there. I had made these in my Christmas craft with me. And so I wanted to add these to my side table just because I thought they were a really pretty touch. And I'm just taking some more of those picks, like the little viney picks, and some picks that I got from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to like make a little like greenery around the snow globes and just try to make it look kind of natural and free-flowing like the rest of my decor. So above my couch, I have these two wooden signs. They're from Hobby Lobby. They came as a set, and I really like the way these look, but when I decorate for holidays, it always feels so bare over here. So I did want to add these picks. I got these, oh, I'm not even sure where I got these, maybe Hobby Lobby, but I'm just kind of stacking them on top of each other and letting them kind of lay over the sides of the signs. And then I'm just going to add a few extra picks that I had from when I decorated my bedroom for Christmas. I'll link that video below as well because that one's a good one. I really love the way my bedroom turned out this year. So I'm just adding a little touch of those just because it brings in some of the flocking and also some of the red, and it tied it into the rest of the decor. So we are officially on day 3 of decorating. This is actually a couple of days later because my son wanted to help with some decor, but he had been so busy with school and homework, and he works and working out and things like that, he just didn't have time. So this was the first day that he actually had time, and it was worth it for me to wait because, you know, he's older and he doesn't always want to help with these things. But he said he wanted to help with this, so I waited for him. So we're just taking these garlands. These I have had forever. I actually flocked them last year along with my tree, and they were already pre-strung with lights. And of course, we hung these up and the lights didn't work. It was like, you know, like the rest of the decor this year. I don't know why. I never have lights go out, but this year so many were not working. So I don't know what I did wrong, but we ended up restringing them with different lights. And then I am adding more of this like viney pick to it to tie it into the rest. And along with this, we're gonna add in some Dollar Tree picks. I got these like silver twig looking picks from the Dollar Tree this year, and I just thought that they were so pretty, and I had no idea where I was going to use them, but I knew that I wanted my garlands on the stairs to look a little bit more full and a little bit more interesting than normal. Normally I just leave them as the garland and the lights only, and I don't really put anything in them. But this year, like I said, I wanted to add some stuff in. So I'm going to add some of that silver twig picks in. I'm cutting off the individual twigs, and then we're also going to add in some Dollar Tree, like it's like sparkling leaves. I don't even know what, I'm terrible with plant names anyway, but I don't know what kinds they are. You can see them here, and I'm going to cut those as well and stick those in. And then we're also going to add some berries and pine cones. So that's everything that we're going to add to the garlands. So it's like a lot that you're going to see here, but I think that it ends up kind of pretty. Like it's different than the rest of the decor, but since it still has some of the same elements, it still all ties in together. And this is probably the garland that we've done on the stairs over the years. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. My son was like doubting me during this process. You can see him trying to convince me not to do the silver picks, but once it was all done, I think he liked it. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. So there you go. So I wanted to mention one of the cool things about decorating the garlands and the trees and everything this way, where I'm just sticking in pieces of things like the picks and the berries and the pine cones and stuff like that, is it's not changing the base of the garlands and the tree. So each year I can do something completely different. And I think that that's such a benefit when you're just starting with green and like adding in instead of buying like a pre-decorated garland or tree or whatever. It just gives you like a lot of versatility to change up your decor year to year. Now we're moving over into the dining room and the kitchen. I don't really do much in the kitchen, but for the dining room, I will do some decor. So I just added this little tree. It's a part of a set of 3 pencil trees, and I shared the previous 2 in my other Christmas Decorate With Me. I put one in my daughter's room and one in my room. So this is the third one, and I just put it in this like little silver urn, and I decided to go ahead and decorate it with flowers. And it's kind of different. I don't know if it's my favorite, but I just wanted to do something different. Since it's a small tree, it just was like too small for ornaments and regular picks. So this was kind of my way of adding something in without it being ornaments, I guess. And then I am adding a couple of these like sparkly eucalyptus that I had, just to give it a little bit of that wildness like I have been talking about in the rest of my decor. Next up, I'm going to work on this hutch that is above my desk. I'm just going to add this little gold lantern and the star, and I'm just going to fill the lantern with a couple of pine cones and then a flower and a pick that I already had from fall. And that just gives like a little bit of visual interest. And I wanted this to be like staggered heights, and I didn't have any plan for this area, but I'm just kind of throwing over here some like decor that I had left over from other parts of the house, if that makes sense. And I'm just trying to make it look the best I can and add varying heights and whatever. So next up is on top of my fridge. I'm going to play with this a little bit, and actually it will change before like this. And you'll see in the end how it ends up. But I got this little Santa napkin holder from my grandma, and she gave it to me this past year. And then also that little salt and pepper shaker that you saw on my desk is from her. So I wanted to include those in my decor, even though they don't technically like go with the theme that I was doing, but I just love them so much. So that's why I added them. And now I'm moving over to my dining room. I always like to put a little decorative pillow on this 5th chair that sits over in the corner. That just sits there because it's like our extra chair, and this is our dining room. We don't have another one. So if we have anybody over, that is what we pull out. And then next I'm adding these little small wreaths to the back of these chairs. Now technically these are not wreaths, these are actually like little candle rings from the Dollar Tree. And then I took some of that garland that I put over underneath my little village, and I filled in the blank spots with it, added some berries and a little bit more of that like viney pick that I've been using throughout the video, and just like filled them out and made them look like actual wreaths. And I love the way these turned out. And I'm actually using the ribbon from Thanksgiving that I had put on my napkins. If you want to check out that video, I will link it below, because I did a whole video on preparing for like holidays and how we set up my dining room to have like holiday meals, and it's kind of interesting. So like I said, I'll link that below, but I'm just reusing these ribbons, and I love the way it turned out because it's just like tying it to the chair but also providing a little bit of an extra pop of color. So the last thing I'm going to do for my decor is work on my table. I have this Merry Christmas table runner. I think I got this from Target Dollar Spot maybe last year. Don't quote me on that, I'm not really sure. And I'm just taking some of my candle holders that I usually use over my fireplace, and I just thought that this would be kind of pretty for a table centerpiece. And again, I'm using some more of that garland that I used underneath my villages, and I am just covering up the bases of the candle holders because I just didn't like the way it looked. And then I'm going to fill this in with just some extra stuff that I had from my decor. Now, I did not use all my decor throughout the house. Like, I still have extra stuff left, but that's the way I kind of like it. So I don't know if, you know, how things will change over the years, but I do like to keep the things that I actually like, because who knows how I'm going to use it each time. And then I'm adding in a few pine cones, and then I also had a couple of these picks that I've had forever. I think I got them from Hobby Lobby maybe 8 years ago, 10 years ago. I'm not even sure, but I just wanted to bring in a little bit of extra color and texture over on the table. So here is how everything turned out. I have to say I am so in love with my decor this year. I hope you enjoy this. That is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up so that I know that you like this kind of content. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you don't ever miss a video. And I just want to wish you guys the happiest and merriest of Christmases. And I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday with your families. And thank you again so much for watching. I will see you in my next video.
Welcome back to the Crafty Home. My name is Tanya if you are new here. So it is officially a little less than a week from Thanksgiving and I am going to start decorating for Christmas. I am so excited for this. I've been wanting to do it for a couple of weeks now. I know a lot of people are decorating early this year. I couldn't get my family fully on board with doing the whole house early, but I am gonna go ahead and start on 2 bedrooms. That's all I'm gonna do for decorating for the upstairs because the 3rd bedroom is my husband's office and the 4th one is my son's bedroom. He's 16, he doesn't want his bedroom decorated for Christmas, but my daughter doesn't mind, and then of course my bedroom. So that's what we're gonna work on today. So this is gonna be part 1 of my Christmas decorating. I will do a part 2 and post that soon where I will do my whole living room, dining room, and kitchen. So I'm so excited for that. So let's go ahead and get started.
So we're going to start with my daughter's room first. We decided to go ahead and do a Candyland theme for her room, and you'll see why. Like, I have a lot of stuff that I had previously, but those giant candy canes outside of her door were actually from the Dollar Tree. I got those this year. I thought that was such a good score. I just happened to be in there for something else and I found those. So I stuck those outside of her door, almost like a little entrance. And then now we're setting up this little pencil tree that I have. And I got this as a set of 3 a couple of years ago on clearance from the store at home. And the 3 trees are actually different sizes. So this is the tallest of the 3. I actually had this in my office last year, but I'm not decorating my office this year. So this is going in my daughter's room. Once we're done stringing the lights, I'm gonna add some deco mesh to this. So I got this candy cane style deco mesh from the Dollar Tree this year, and I thought it was going to be more opaque than it was, but it's from the Dollar Tree, so I got what I paid for. It's just a little bit like thin, like as far as the colors go, so you can't see it super well, but it still turned out cute. And then I'm also going to add this teal tulle. It's got some glitter in it. I thought this was deco mesh also, but it was not. So it doesn't matter, it still ends up looking nice, and I'm really happy with it overall anyway. And then we also got some ornaments from Walmart this year, and they were 98 cents each, and you'll see them in a little bit. They're so stinking cute. So those are the things I got this year, and then most of the other stuff that we'll use I already had. I will do a close-up of the ornaments once her room is finished, but these ornaments are just the absolute cutest thing. They have such good detail. They're all sparkly and pastel, and there's like shakes and popsicles and cupcakes and suckers and candy canes. We got like a little narwhal and a little Santa gnome and donuts, and you name it. I think I only spent like $20 total in her room, and we just got the cutest stuff. So if you are in the market for anything Candyland theme, check out Walmart.
Up on the housetop, reindeer paws.
So the tree is always the biggest thing to decorate, so that's why that takes the longest. But now we're moving on to her little hammock chair. This little vine I had last year, and I got it on clearance the year before from the store at home. And I used it last year in my garland in my living room, but I wanted to go with something different this year. So it's like a little rose gold LED battery operated garland, and we thought it would look super cute up here. And then now I'm just adding this wreath. I actually had this wreath before, but I added the words fa la la. And I did a video on some Christmas crafts, and that was included in it. So if you want to see that, I will link it below. And then over on her nightstand, we're adding this little tree. I had this before. We had gotten it from Target Dollar Spot a couple of years ago, and it just has little battery powered lights on it. And I had like a second strand in my Christmas decor. I literally have no idea why I even had it or when I got it, but we went ahead and decided to add this to this tree just to fill it out a little bit more. So there are two little strands on here. And then this little skirt is also from Target Dollar Spot from a few years ago. And then I also have these little wooden houses from Target Dollar Spot. So this is all stuff we had before, but that right there was the inspiration for this Candyland theme. And then I'm adding these little Dollar Tree candy canes to her bulletin board. And then next I'm going to work on her desk. Now, this desk was the biggest pain for me. I could not figure out how to decorate it. No matter what I did, it did not look right. It looked so cluttered and so funny. I don't know if it was just like how the decor over here is anyway. The lanterns hanging in the corner. It just looked so busy no matter what I did. So I'm going to mess with it 100 times, and then I'm going to end up coming back to it and redoing it yet again another day because I just could not find a way that I liked it. For the last couple of things, I'm just adding this little Dollar Tree candy cane to her mirror above her nightstand. And then we have this little pillow that was from Hobby Lobby that says Merry and Bright. That's the same color scheme that we thought would look cute on her bed. And then here I am the next day working on this desk again. I had this little Christmas tree. I got it last year on clearance. It was 90% off. I got it for $4. It was cracked, but I glued it and I put some LED lights in it because it didn't have the light bulbs, and it's just so cute. And I was going to use it in my decor in my living room, but it matched her color scheme, so I thought I would try it on this corner of the desk. And then I just added a couple of little LED trees, this candy cane lane sign, and some greenery, and it's the best I could do, people. So now moving on to her dresser, I had the same problem with her dresser as I did the desk. I just could not figure out how to decorate it. So I ended up with just two trees and an ornament. So here is a tour of how it turned out, and we're really very happy with it. The tree is our favorite part just because it is so bright and fun and like just festive, and that's really the theme that we were going for, so it's perfect. now we are moving on to my room. So I am just unloading all of these decorations that I had laid out for my room. So I had done last year, I did like pink and burgundy and golds and silvers in my main living area, and I just wanted to change things up this year. So I'm actually pulling some of those decorations from that into my bedroom this year. So I am removing a few tags from some of this stuff. A lot of it is stuff I already had, but I'm very, very bad about removing tags. Like if you watched my video from last year's Christmas, you'll recognize some of this stuff, and I just didn't take the tags off. But there are a couple of new things, like those little glittery branches. Those are from the Dollar Tree this year. I got 3 of each color, and then those 2 tubes of ornaments are also from the Dollar Tree. So I did pick up a couple of new things for this, and these ornaments, there's a couple of ornaments that are from the Dollar Tree as well, and they are so beautiful. I actually showed them in a haul in one of my cleaning videos, and I will link it below if you want to check it out. But I didn't spend a lot for this. I didn't spend a lot this year anyway, but I did want to add a few things to my decor. And last year, I don't even think I decorated my bedroom for Christmas. I just added like a pillow and a couple of wintry things. But this year, I just wanted to do it. So I am using the second pencil tree that I was talking about from my daughter's room. So this one's shorter than hers, but I thought it was a really, really good height for right over here because it sits kind of just below my picture. So it doesn't block my art, but it's still like a nice enough size that I can decorate it. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm lighting it up, and then I'm gonna add all the decorations to it. Next, I'm adding this pink ribbon to this tree. This ribbon is so pretty. I actually got it a few years ago on clearance at the end of a Christmas season, and I meant to use it last year in my decor, but I just couldn't find anywhere for it. So I'm so glad I'm able to use it this year because I really do love it. So it is glittery. You'll get a close-up a little bit later when I give you the finished tour, but it is just the most pretty like sheer glittery ribbon. So this was like a really good addition to this tree. I had these really nice size ornaments that I got last year on Christmas clearance from Hobby Lobby. They were like 90% off. I think they cost $2. And I wanted to include them, but they were too big for the tree just because they're like a larger ornament and this is a small tree. So I decided to set a couple at the base of the tree, and then I'm actually going to use some around the room. And I thought that was a really good way to use them. So now I'm over here at my dresser, and I had these poinsettias that I had gotten a couple of years ago on clearance, and I had used them as picks in my tree last year, but I thought maybe I would add them to some of my vases. So I recently redid my bedroom, and I added these blue and white ginger jars, and I really wanted to keep them in the room, like just because they match everything, but I wanted to decorate for Christmas still using them. So I added this poinsettia and I did not end up liking it. But then I also added this elephant ear, and then I put back in a couple of the pink flowers, the cherry blossoms, and I really like the way that looked. I think that the elephant ear, because it's got like this frosted look to it, looks kind of wintry. So I do like the way that turned out. Now I'm going to move on to my bookshelf, and to be honest, I had zero plan for my entire room. So I am literally just going to play with everything. You'll see me move things around, add things, take things away, just because I didn't know how I wanted everything to look. I knew that I wanted to add in the pink and keep the pink because I already had that, and I wanted to keep the blue and white, and I just wanted to make it Christmassy. And since I was using things I already had, but I had used other places in the house previously, it was all trial and error. So that is why you see me like moving things and adding things. But I have to say that one of my favorite things that I did was adding these little greenery picks and the little frosted picks on top of them. That just like pulled everything together for me. So I'm finding that this is something I like doing in decorating, is just adding a little bit of greenery to the bottom of my vignettes, and that ends up looking really nice. And then now I'm moving over to the bed and adding a pillow, which I don't like it, but that's staying for now. And then I'm just adding a couple more of these frosted picks to the flowers that are already here, just to give it a little bit of a wintry look. Okay guys, so this is how the room ended up, and I am so pleased with how it turned out. I am just loving how like festive and Christmassy and wintry and subtle it looks. Like it's subtle, but it's still Christmassy, and I love that it matches my current color scheme. I am just very, very happy with it. So that is it for this Christmas Decorate with me. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a thumbs up so that I know, and please subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell. I have more Christmas videos coming and a lot of other things planned, and I would love to have you here. Thank you again for watching. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Today we have all kinds of different things in this video. We have cleaning motivation, we are wrapping some gifts, both birthday and Christmas. We are doing a grocery haul. We're doing some holiday baking, very easy recipes that I'll share with you. We're doing some Christmas decorating, basically all of the Christmas vibes in this video. If you like this kind of content and you are new here, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. We are going to start this day off right by making the bed. Now, this is something I try to do every day. I do not always get to it, but it does always feel so good when my bed is made. And I try to do it first thing in the morning, but I'm not gonna lie, a lot of times I start downstairs in my main living area and kitchen first and then work my way upstairs. But today I got dressed first because I was filming. So we are making the bed first and then picking up some stuff in the bedroom, and then we will Since I'm already working upstairs, I'm going to go ahead and work on the master bathroom. And as you can see, it has been quite a few days since I have wiped down our sinks and our mirrors. And we are a splashing family. If you guys are one too, you know what that means. But basically, when we wash our hands, brush our teeth, shave our faces, just kidding, my husband's the only one who shaves his face, we splash water and stuff all over the sink, and that means I end up having to wipe it down all of the time, otherwise it looks like this. So I'm just going to pick up all the things that need to get put away, and then I'm going to give everything a really good wipe down. It's also been a couple of days since I have cleaned the mirror, and again we splash and we splatter toothpaste and stuff like that, so it needs a good wipe down. I'm also going to go ahead and take care of rinsing off our electric toothbrushes. Those get kind of messy sometimes as water drips onto them, so I do like to give them a good wipe down every so often. So I'm going to do that and then just basically make it tidy in here. Also, we're going to switch out towels today. We try to do this at least once a week, so you'll see me replace When I work in our bathroom, I do end up splitting the counter kind of in half in an imaginary line. I don't know why I do this. Instead of cleaning the entire counter at once, I always do my husband's sink first, his side of the mirror, and then I come back and do my side of the sink. and then my side of the mirror. Doesn't necessarily make sense, but it is what I do, and it works, so whatever. Just thought I'd mention that because it was kind of funny that I went from one sink to the mirror and now to the other sink, and then I'll do the mirror again when I could have done it all at once. But I don't know, his mess is separate from mine, I guess.
So I'm gonna get ready to go to Walmart and get a couple of things that I need to make some Christmas treats. And I need to look for some yarn because a friend of mine wants me to make a chunky blanket, only it's been really hard to find chunky yarn this year. I'm not sure why. So I'm gonna go to Walmart, hopefully they have it. And before I go, I want to package my father-in-law's birthday gift. His birthday is next week. Normally I would send his gift with their Christmas gifts, but I'm still waiting on a couple of packages for them. So I want to send it all together, their Christmas stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and send his birthday stuff separate, but I wanted to show you real fast what we got him. So for birthday gifts, I usually try to do a couple of like smaller things that I just know that they'll like. So he's a big chocolate lover. So I found this chocolate set at Costco, and it's like huge. It's got 46 pieces of chocolate, all kinds of different kinds. So I'm hoping he likes this. It should last for a little while anyway. So I got him this, and then I also got him this Brain Games book. It's CSI like brand, but it's not technically like all about, like, it's like crime themed, I guess you could say. I don't know that he's necessarily into CSI type stuff, but I thought the riddles were kind of cute, and like it's not like gory or anything. So I just figured this might be a fun way to spend some time, especially, you know, during 2020. But then like it has all those puzzles, and then in the back of it, it does have the answers, so that you know if you got it right, or if you're stuck, you can flip to the back and look. But I just thought that that was a really fun gift and should keep him occupied for a while. So I'm gonna get that ready to ship so I can ship that when I run out to Walmart.
Since this is a present for just my father-in-law for his birthday, I figured I would just kind of wrap it in tissue in the box instead of wrapping like the book and the chocolate separately. For one, the chocolate already is kind of like in wrapping with the bow, and it just like still feels like a gift. Like when he opens the box, this will be his gift, if that makes sense. So that is why I'm doing this, and then we're gonna add a card in on top and go ahead and just ship it like that. Okay guys, here's my little quick haul of what I just picked up at Walmart. So most of the stuff is for like the treats that I'm baking today, which I'm going to share a couple of recipes with you, and then some of it is for Christmas. So I'll start over here. This stuff is for my kids, like Christmas stockings. I already have a couple of like things that are not candy related to put in them, but I had to round it out with a little bit of treats. So I got these Sour Punch straws. These were like $1 each, and they're a really good size. These Kisses candy canes, Nerds gummy clusters, which is like those Nerds sticks, but these are like the little bite-sized ones, which is kind of cool. And then these Russell Stover caramel chocolate things. So those will go in their stockings. And then I got these Pyroline, I'm not even sure if that's how it's pronounced, but I'm gonna make a charcuterie board on Christmas, and I was gonna put some of those on it. I thought it would look really cute. I got some Snyder's of Hanover pretzels, some roasted and salted pecans, a bag of Rolos. I got myself a little treat of chocolate covered cherries because I love these, and it's like the only time I ever splurge on them is for Christmas, because you know what, mom needs a treat too. So I picked myself up those. That has nothing to do with the things I'm making, just extra. I also got these red skin Spanish peanuts. I'm gonna make some peanut brittle with those. I probably won't do that today, but
I try to make it every year just because I love it. And then I got some vanilla cream wafer cookies and also some iced brownie bites. So that's what I got for groceries. And then I ended up finding this yarn. I got 7 of these. I had like 3 other packs that's gonna fill out the rest of the blankets. I'm making 2, but this is the only color they have, and I am having the worst time trying to find yarn this year. So hopefully off-white is okay for my friend, because that's all they had. So we're outside now. We're gonna go ahead and put up our Christmas lights outdoors. I already decorated all the inside, but outside's always the last thing to do for me, and sometimes I don't even get around to it, let's be honest. But it's beautiful out today. It's like 57 degrees. I'm almost like hot in my coat, but we're gonna work and as long as we can while we have daylight, because we will only have like 2 more hours. So we're gonna be as quick as we can. Hopefully we can get it all done.
So we added lights to all of our bushes out front, and now I'm going to add our Christmas wreath. I actually made this year with just like stuff that I had left over from other decor. And then I'm going to move over to this little basket here. This is just always sitting on my front porch, so I thought I would decorate it just to kind of make it festive, but also to kind of hide some of the cords and the little timer that's hanging there, just because it gets a little ugly the way you like see all the cords and the lights and stuff from doing lights, and I'm not an expert and I don't know how to hide that kind of stuff. So I'm adding a couple of signs too, and then because I thought the signs were just a little bit like they needed a little bit extra, I'm going to take a little bit of this pine garland that I had. It's just extra, and kind of weave it across it. It's not anything fancy, but it gave it a little something extra, and I ended up liking the way it turned out. So I had this hanging planter from some summer plants that were like annuals and died out, and I also had these fake poinsettias that I have had for years, but I didn't have anywhere to use them this year. So I thought I would take out the dead plant and then add in the poinsettias, set that by my door, and it looks like real ones, but I don't have to worry about them getting ruined in the weather. So here's our front porch and our lights all done. I really love the way it turned out. It's a little more than I usually do. Like every year, I don't normally decorate this much on the front porch just because, you know, it doesn't really get seen. But I'm glad I did it this year. It's a kind of a fun thing when I walk out the door and see it. Cleanup of the kitchen before I start on the treats, just because I like to work with a clean slate. And I'm also gonna go ahead and put away this stuff because that's like leftover from decorating outside, and I just want a kind of like a picked up dining room. It's a disaster. And then in a little bit we need to wrap my daughter's Secret Santa gift. Her and her friends are doing like a little gift exchange of like $15, and we have to have this delivered soon, so we're gonna get that wrapped up today too, so I can get that off of my table.
So while I was downstairs, I like saw my card holder. I forgot that I had pulled that out when I got my signs out from outside. So I thought I would share this with you. This is like how we hang our holiday cards. I got this a few years ago. Well, it's been several years ago now, from a craft fair. And like, it's so cute. Hold on, I'll show you. So this is it. It's probably like 4 feet high, and it's actually just like a little wood, like a 2x4 or 1x4. I don't even know what those are called, but there's like a ribbon, like a burlap ribbon that's stapled across it, and then they like attached a finial to the top, and then this little like embellishment with the Merry Christmas. And then there's just these little like clothespin things, and this is how you like hook your cards onto this. This is just like a really cute way to display your Christmas cards every year. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that up because we've already received a few cards. So now that the kitchen's all cleaned up, I'm gonna go ahead and start on our Christmas trees. I have 3 different recipes to show you. 2 of them are just so easy. The third one is actually really easy too, but it's a little bit more in depth than the first 2. So let's go ahead and get started. So for the first recipe, you're gonna need a pretzel. I just did these mini pretzels. I usually get those square ones that look like waffles, but they don't have them right now. So these are what I'm going to use as mini pretzels, and then you need Rolos and then some pecan, like the halves, pecan halves. So the first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 250 degrees. Like, we don't want it really warm because you're just barely going to melt the chocolates. Next thing you're going to do is take like a lined cookie sheet and spread out as many pretzels as you want to make on here. Next, you're just gonna add a Rolo to the top of every pretzel. This is like the easiest little treat to make, and it is one of my family's very favorites. If you've never done this before, you need to try it. I swear to you, you will love it. It's like that perfect mixture of both sweet and salty. Now you're gonna pop those in the oven for about 3 to 4 minutes. Once they're done, you're going to go ahead and pull them right out of the oven, and you don't want to wait for them to cool. You still want the chocolate to be warm. And you're going to take your pecan halves and then just press them down into the chocolate and caramel on the treats. Now you can let these just sit and harden, or you can throw them in the freezer or the refrigerator to harden quicker. For this next recipe, you need some vanilla cream wafers, and then some white chocolate chips, and some sort of like Christmas sprinkles or sugars or whatever that you want to add to it. Okay guys, this is another crazy easy treat recipe. So what you're going to do is take a cup of white chocolate chips, and you're going to melt them in the microwave. You want to do like half power, 30-second increments, and then stir it in between because you don't want to burn your chocolate. If your chocolate gets burnt, it will taste disgusting. Trust me, I know. And then once it's all melted, and don't like melt them all the way, like just stir them basically until they're melted, if that makes sense, because otherwise you risk burning it. And then once it's all melted, you're going to take and dip your wafer cookies into the white chocolate. And as those are still
like wet, you want to sprinkle on whatever sugars or sprinkles that you want to add to it to decorate it. So we are actually back with day 2 of this. I just couldn't get everything done on my list yesterday. And that's okay. This is like real life. I cannot get it all done. I'm not even going to pretend like I can. I am not Superwoman. I don't want you to watch my channel and think that I'm just like some overachiever who's like the perfect mom or the perfect housewife. I hope that you do not get that kind of impression from me, because that is far from the truth. I'm hoping I present a fairly realistic view of how mom life and wife life is actually done, if that makes sense. So we're on to day 2. I still have a bunch of laundry to do, so I'm going to go ahead and fold this stuff, and then I'm going to move on to my dining room because I have like one last thing that I have to do for Christmas decorating that's like one of my favorite parts. So okay, so we are now back in my dining room. I had wanted to do this when I did my decorate with me, like initially when I did all my decorating, but I could not find like an extra charging square to be able to do these lights. So I got these curtain lights last year. I actually got 2 packs of them from Amazon. They're my favorite part of my Christmas decor because it's like it brings lights into my dining room where I normally wouldn't have them. It makes the whole house just feel festive. I don't know why, but I'm obsessed with them. So I'm only using one set in my Christmas decor this year because the other set I actually gave to my daughter. She uses in her room decor like every day, and she uses them all the time. So I'm really glad I gave them to her. But I did want to put these up in the back, like I said, because it's in our dining room and there's no other Christmas lights. Like I have a lot of Christmas lights that go in my living room, like on my staircase and everything, but this is just, that extra touch for my dining room. So now that that is finally done, I'm so happy about it. We're going to go ahead and wrap my daughter's Secret Santa gift. Like I said, they had $15 that they were supposed to spend on their Secret Santa. They have a bunch of girls doing it, and basically what they're doing is they're going to drop and ditch, if that makes sense. So they're going to like drop the gifts off, ring the doorbell, and ditch out. And then they're supposed to leave 3 clues in their card that's supposed to help their gift recipient guess who left them the gift. So it's really kind of fun, and it's something cute to do during the pandemic when they can't be together and they can't have a Christmas party and things like that. So we wanted to get this wrapped up so that we could deliver it this week. So my daughter asked me to fill out the card for her Secret Santa gift. That way the girl who gets it can't recognize her handwriting, and it's harder for her to guess. So I'm writing her clues now.
So the next thing we're gonna make is chocolate chip snowball cookies, and this is what you're gonna need. So you need I'm only doing half of the recipe to do 24 cookies instead of 48, but you need 1¼ cup all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. You'll need extra powdered sugar for once they're done baking. You need 1/2 cup of mini chocolate chips. I did not have mini chocolate chips, so I just took regular ones and like blended them slightly so that they were kind of coarse. You'll need 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and then you need 1/2 cup of butter softened.
The first thing you're going to do is add your softened butter. Mine was like sticking to the package here, so I was like working it off. And then you have to add your 1/4 cup of powdered sugar and then also your vanilla. And then go ahead and mix this until it's like smooth and creamy. Once that's done, you're going to go ahead and add your flour and your salt. And you're going to mix this for a little while. Like, it's not a quick mix. You have to mix it until the dough sticks together. So it does take like a couple of minutes, and you'll be able to tell when it starts forming a dough. So if it's not sticking like right away, just keep mixing. Basically, you can see the consistency right here. Once it gets to the point where it's like sticking to itself and forming a dough, you want to add in your chocolate chips. Now, get the mini chocolate chips if you can. Mine, because they were like crushed up, it was like dusty and it ends up looking kind of like cookies and cream instead of like the Snowball cookies. It's fine, like it tasted good and everything like that. It just looks a little funny, so if you don't like that, that's what I would do. So then I'm just taking a spoon and just spooning out as much dough as I want, and then forming that into the balls. And like I said, this is a recipe for 24 cookies. And then I'm going to bake this on 375. I didn't mention the temperature before, but on 375 for 7 to 10 minutes. I think I did mine for 8 minutes. Once your cookies are done baking, you do want to pull them out and then let them cool enough that like you can touch them, but not cool them all the way. And then you're gonna like drop them into a bowl of powdered sugar and coat them with the powdered sugar. And then those are all done. Okay guys, that is all I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed this video and it gave you a little bit of cleaning, cooking, and basically just home life motivation. I hope you guys are having a great holiday season, and thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and be sure you're subscribed to my channel so that you never miss a video, and I will see you in the next one.